Hello everyone, welcome to IB Math Solution. Today we will be learning some new concepts, some very important concepts of linear equations. When we have two lines, these two lines can either be parallel lines or they can overlap each other or they can intersect each other. So there are three possibilities. One is for parallel lines, second is for coincident lines, and third is for intersecting lines. So when we say two lines, let's suppose line 1 is of the form a1x plus b1y is equal to d1, and line 2 is of form a2x plus b2y is equal to d2. Now I have plotted two lines in each chart. So for the very first one, the lines are parallel. Line 1 is parallel to line 2. They do not intersect. Even if we extend these lines, they will never intersect. However, coincident lines, they overlap each other. You can see line 1 and line 2 are overlapping each other. So they intersect each other at every point. So there can be infinitely many solutions for this chart. And the third one is intersecting lines. When we say intersecting lines, these lines intersect at one point, and that one point is called the unique solution of the two lines. So the question is, if we do not have the graph of two lines, can we still say whether the lines will intersect, or will they overlap, or will they be parallel to each other? Yes, we can say that just by looking at the equation of the lines. If our equations are in this form, a1x plus b1y is equal to d1 and a2x plus b2y is equal to d2, then we can definitely use these conditions to tell whether the lines will intersect, or they will overlap, or they will be parallel to each other. So the condition is, if a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 and is not equal to d1 by d2, then the lines don't intersect, they are parallel. If the condition is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to d1 by d2, then they are overlapping, the lines overlap each other, and in that case there will be infinitely many solutions. And in case of parallel lines, we can say if they don't intersect, there will be no solution. And the third case, if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, then our lines will cross each other only once, and that will be our unique solution. So let's understand this using some examples. I have taken this example. If we check our condition, so a1 by a2, that is 2 by 4, b1 by b2, that is 3 by 6, c1 d1 by d2, that is 6 by 24. If we solve them, this becomes 1 by 2, this becomes 1 by 2, this becomes 1 by 4. So we can definitely say this is equal to a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but it is not equal to d1 by d2. So checking the conditions above, this scenario meets the condition given here. We can say these lines don't intersect, or parallel lines. Now let's verify whether they actually are parallel lines or not. So if we take equation 1 and we put x is equal to 0, we get 2 into 0 plus 3 into y is equal to 6. That will be 3y is equal to 6. So y will be 6 by 3, that is 2. And if we take y is equal to 0, we get 2x plus 0 is equal to 6. That is x is equal to 6 by 2. That means 3. So if we plot our very first equation on this chart, we will get 0, 2 as our one of the points and 3, 0 as our second point for the first equation. So 0, 2 is here and 3, 0 is here. Now if we plot a straight line, what do we get? We get this straight line. Now let's plot our second equation. If we take x is equal to 0, we get, if we take x is equal to 0 in second equation, that will be 6y is equal to 24 and y will be equal to 24 by 6, that is 4. So this point will be 0, 4. And similarly, if we put y is equal to 0, we get 4x is equal to 24. That will be x is equal to 24 divided by 4. That is 6. And the second point will be 6, 0. If we plot these 2 points now, 0, 4, 0, 4, this point will be here, and 6, 0, 6, 0, this point will be here. This line, as we can see, these two lines are parallel, they will never intersect. So we have verified that when we are given with this condition, a1 divided by a2 is equal to b1 divided by b2 is not equal to d1 divided by d2. In that case, we get parallel lines and hence no solution. Let's take another example. Now I have deliberately taken an example where this condition will meet. So let's see, a1 by a2 is 2 divided by 4, b1 by b2 is 3 divided by 6, d1 by d2 is 6 divided by 12. If we solve these three, we get 1 by 2, 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. All three are equal, and in case the condition is where all the three coefficients ratio are equal, this condition tells us that the lines overlap each other. So we can say coincident lines, and hence infinitely many solutions. Let's verify by plotting it. So verification, let's take equation 1. So for equation 1, if we take x is equal to 0, we get 3y is equal to 6. That will be y is equal to 6 by 3. That will be 2. So the point will be 0, 2. And if we take y is equal to 0, we get 2x is equal to 6. That will be x is equal to 6 by 2. that will be 3, and the point will be 3, 0. Now let's plot this equation on the chart. We'll get 0, 2. That will be 0, 2, and 3, 0. 3, 0 will be here. If we draw a straight line, our equation will look like this. Now let's take second equation, and if we put x is equal to 0 in second equation, we get 6y is equal to 12. So y will be equal to 12 by 6, that is 2, and our point will be 0, 2. Similarly, if we take y is equal to 0, we get 4x is equal to 12. So x will be equal to 12 divided by 4, that will be 3, and our point will be 3, 0. Now, can we see that this is the same point as this one, and this is the same point as this one? So our points will coincide each other, and the line will overlap the previous line. In this case, when the lines are overlapping each other, we can also say that there are infinitely many solutions, hence verified. This condition is also verified. This condition is also verified. Now let's take the third example where lines intersect. So our condition says if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, so a1 by a2 is 2 by 3, b1 by b2 is 3 by 2. So in our case, this does not match the second part, and hence we can say that lines intersect, or there is a unique solution. Let's verify. So taking equation 1, if we put x is equal to 0, we get 3y is equal to 6. So y will be equal to 6 divided by 3, that is 2, and hence the point will be 0, 2. If we take y is equal to 0, we get 2x is equal to 6, and that will be x is equal to 6 by 2, which is 3, and our point will be 3, 0. If we plot this equation on the graph, we'll get 0, 2, that will be 0, 2, and 3, 0. Let's plot a straight line. Let's plot the second line as well. Taking x is equal to 0, we get 2y is equal to 6, and y is equal to 6 by 2, that will be 3. So our point will be 0, 3. Similarly, taking y is equal to 0, we get x is equal to, taking y is equal to 0 here, we get 3x is equal to 6, and hence x is equal to 6 divided by 3, that will be 2. So our point will be 2, 0. Now plotting this line on the graph we'll get 0, 3. That will be 0, 3, this point, and 2, 0. 2, 0 is this point. If we plot a straight line joining these 2 points, we will get this line, and hence these 2 lines intersect each other at this point. This is our unique solution, or intersection point. Hence we have also verified that if this condition satisfies, if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, then our lines will cross each other or intersect each other, and hence will give us a unique solution. These are the charts. So this one is also verified. Now let's move on to another important concept where we will learn how to plot equations using graphing calculator TI-84. So let's get started. So here we have two equations, 3x plus 4y is equal to 1 and x minus 2y is equal to 7. We will now learn how to solve these equations using TI-84. So to solve this system of equation, we'll first go to matrix over here. So we'll press second and matrix. Here we'll give the value of the matrix. So we'll go to edit first and then enter, and now we'll give the value of matrix. What will be the value of matrix? So we have this system of equation. Now I'll show you how to get the value of this matrix. So matrix A will be equal to, we'll write the values in front of x, y as it is. So this will be 3, 4, 1, 1 minus 2, 7. So this will be our matrix. Now we'll solve the system of equation using matrix A. So let's go to our calculator. Now we also know that there are two rows and 3 columns. So what is the dimension of this matrix? The dimension of this matrix is 2 cross 3. Now we need to put all these values. Matrix A is 2 cross 3. Now we need to put the values. That will be 3, 4, 1, 1 minus 2, 7. Now we have entered the value of our matrix. We'll just quit it, and now we'll go to matrix again, and now we'll go to this math section. When we go to this math section and we go down to option where it says ref and press enter, now we need to insert the value of matrix A in this ref. So we'll again go to matrix and select matrix A. We'll just enter, and now we have our matrix A. So when we close this bracket and we press enter, we get the solution. So this is our solution. This first number is the value of x, the second number is the value of y. So we can say From this matrix, the value of x is, let me take a screenshot of this answer. So here we have x is equal to 3 and y is equal to -2, and this is our answer. We'll now solve another question using graphing calculator TI-84. So in this case, let's first take the values of our matrix. Let's say matrix A will be 1, 4, -2, -3, 2, 13, and this will be a matrix of 2 cross 3. Am I right? Now let's move on to the graphing calculator. So I'll quit first and I'll go to matrix again. I'll go to edit first and I'll go to matrix A, and we know this 2 cross 3 is correct in our case. I'll just enter the values. I'll put 1 here, 4, -2, -3, 2, and 13, and I'll just quit it. Now I'll go to matrix again. I'll go to math and I'll choose RF. Then I'll go to matrix again and I'll select matrix A. If I press enter, we get a solution. So using graphing calculator, we get solution as x is equal to -4 and y is equal to 0.5. This is our answer. So all equations can be solved in the same manner, given that equation is present in the form a1x plus b1y is equal to d1 and a2x plus b2y is equal to d2. If we have our equation in this form, we can use this method to solve the equations for x and y using graphing calculator. Now let's move on to exercise 1E. Here in this question, 5 plates and 2 bowls cost 53 pounds. 3 plates and 8 bowls cost 93 pounds. Find the cost of each item. So let's say let the cost of a plate be x pounds and the cost of a bowl be y pounds. Then from this equation, from this sentence, we can say 5 plates, that will be 5x, plus 2 bowls, that will be 2y, is equal to 53. This is our equation 1. And 3 plates and 8 bowls cost 93. 3 plates, that will be 3x, plus 8 bowls, that will be 8y, is equal to 93. This is our equation 2. Find the cost of each item. So we are supposed to find the value x and the value of y. Now we have to solve these two equations. We multiply equation 1 with 4 into equation 1, and then we subtract equation 2 from it. That will be 4 times equation 1 will be 4 times 5 will be 20x plus 8y is equal to 4 times 53. That will be 212. We'll keep second equation as it is. That will be 3x plus 8y is equal to 93. Now if we subtract, the signs will reverse for second equation and we'll be left with the x term only, this, and we'll get 17x, 20 minus 3 is 17x, will be equal to 119. 212 minus 93 is 119. If we solve for x, we will get 119 divided by 17, and that will be 7. So the value of x is 7, and if we put this value of x in either of the equations, substituting the value of x in equation 1, that will be 5 times 7 plus 2y is equal to 53. So 35 plus 2y is equal to 53. 2y is equal to 53 minus 35. 2y is equal to 18, and y is equal to 18 divided by 2. That will be 9. Therefore, the cost of a plate is equal to 7 pounds, and the cost of a bowl is 9 pounds. Hence, this is our answer. That is question 1. Let's move on to the next question. The question says, a violinist is learning a waltz and a sonatina. One day she practices for 33 minutes by playing the waltz 4 times and sonatina 3 times. The next day she plays the waltz 6 times and sonatina only once, for a total of 25 minutes. Determine the length of each piece. So let the length of the waltz be x minutes and the length of the sonatina be y minutes. So from this sentence we can write that 4x plus 3y is equal to 33, and from the second sentence we can say 6x plus y is equal to 25. This is our equation 1. This is our equation 2. Now we just have to solve these equations and we have to find the value of x and y. That will be our answer. So what we can do is, we have 3y in equation 1 and y in equation 2. So what we can do is we can multiply equation 2 by 3. We can multiply this equation by 3 and we'll get 3y in the second equation, so that we can cancel out this 3y. So what we'll do is we'll subtract 3 times the second equation from the first one. 4x plus 3y is equal to 33, and multiplying the second equation by 3 we'll get 18x plus 3y is equal to 75. Now subtracting will reverse the sign for each component. So this 3y will cancel out this 3y and we'll be left with 4 minus 18, that will be minus 14x, and 33 minus 75, that will be minus 42. If we solve for x, we get minus 42 divided by minus 14. Minus minus will cancel out, and the answer will be 3. Substituting the value of x in equation 1, we'll get 4 times 3 plus 3 times y is equal to 33. That will be 12 plus 3y is equal to 33. 3y is equal to 33 minus 12. So 3y is equal to 21, and y is equal to 21 divided by 3, that is 7. So we have our answer. Length of the words is equal to 3 minutes, and length of the sonatina is equal to 7 minutes. Let's move on to the next question. The question says, a shop sells 2 lengths of extension cable. Thomas buys 2 short cables and 5 long cables with total length 26 meters. Let the length of short cable be x meters and the length of long cable be y meters. So from this sentence we can say that 2x plus 5y is equal to 26, and from this sentence we can say 3x plus 4y is equal to 24.3. Now we have to find the value of x and y. So now we can see that we have some values in decimal that will be quite difficult for us to calculate without a calculator. So in this question, I'll be using graphing calculator. So let's first make a matrix out of equations. So matrix A will be 2, 5, 26, 3, 4, 24.3, and that will be a 2 cross 3 matrix. So let's open up the calculator. I'll go to matrix and I'll go to edit section. I'll edit matrix A. This 2 cross 3 is correct, and now I'll put the values 2, 5, 26, 3, 4, 24.3. Now I'll quit and I'll go to matrix again. I'll go under math section and I'll use ref. So ref of matrix A. So I'll take a screenshot. X is equal to 2.5 meters and Y is equal to 4.2 meters, and that is our answer. Let's move on to the next question. The question says, in an archery competition, competitors fire 8 arrows at a target. They are awarded points based on which region of the target is hit. The results for 2 of the competitors are shown opposite. How many points are rewarded for hitting the red and blue region? So can we say for our first, let's first create the equations. Let the points awarded for the red region be X, and the points awarded for the blue region be Y. Now for archer 1, can we say there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arrows in the red region? That will be 5x plus 3 arrows in the blue region. That will be 3y, and the total points are 68. Similarly, for archer number 2, we have 2 points in the red region, that will be 2x, and 6 points in the blue region, that will be 6y, is equal to a total of 56 points. This is our equation 1, this is our equation 2. We have to solve for x and y. Let's now solve these equations using graphing calculator. I'll go to matrix and I'll edit 2 cross 3 is correct, and our matrix will be 5, 3, 68, 2, 6, 56. I'll quit and I'll go to matrix again. Under math, I'll use ref, and then I'll choose matrix A, and we can say that x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 6. Points in red region, points in blue region. Let's move on to the next question. Question says, a hardware store sells 3 liter cans of paint for 36 euros. and 5-liter cans of paint for 48 euros. In one day, the store sells 71 liters of paint worth a total of 768 euros. How many cans of paint did the store sell? Or let the count of 3-liter paint cans sold be X, and the count of 5-liter paint cans sold be Y. So can we say that total number of so can we say total amount of paint sold in liters is 71? So 3x plus 5y is equal to 71. And also, so we can say that the cost of one 3-liter can is 36 euros. So that will be 36 into x. And the cost of 5-liter can is 48 euros. That will be 48y. And the amount adds up to 768 euros. 768. Now, if we solve these two equations, this is our equation 1, this is our equation 2. I'll go to matrix, go to edit, 2 cross 3 is correct. Now 3, 5, 71, 36, 48, 768. I'll quit, I'll go to matrix again. I'll go under math section and use ref and choose matrix A. The value of x is 12 and the value of y is 7. So 12 cans of 3 liters each and 7 cans of 5 liters each sold. And that is our answer. Let's move on to the next question. Question says Lydia is paid at a standard rate per hour before 5 p.m. and then at a higher rate per hour after 5 p.m. On Monday, she worked from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and earned $110. So I'll underline this. On Tuesday, she worked from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and earned $195. On Wednesday, Lydia worked from noon to 6 p.m. Noon to 6 p.m. How much did she earn on Wednesday? So let the rate before 5 p.m. be X dollars per hour and the rate after 5 p.m. be Y dollars per hour. So for Monday, she worked from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So that time will be divided 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Correct? So this will be 3 hours and this will be 2 hours. Can we say on Monday she worked for 3 hours at X dollars per hour and 2 hours at Y dollars per hour. So her total amount will be 3x plus 2y and she got a total of $110. 110. That is our equation 1. Similarly, we can form the equation on Tuesday. So Tuesday, she worked from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we can divide 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. This will be 6 hours and this will be 3 hours. So we can say 6x plus 3y is equal to, what did she get? She got $195. 195. This is our equation 2. Now to solve this system of equations, what we'll do is we'll multiply equation 1 by 2 and then we'll subtract equation 2 from it. So we multiply 2 with equation 1, we'll get 6x plus 4y is equal to 220 and we'll get from equation 2 we'll get 6x plus 3y is equal to 195. If we subtract, we'll reverse the sign of each component. This 6x will cancel out this one and we'll be left with 4y minus 3y, that will be y is equal to 25. And substituting y in equation 1, we get 3x plus 2 into 25 is equal to 110. That will be 3x plus 50 is equal to 110 and 3x is equal to 110 minus 50. 3x is equal to 60. X is equal to 60 divided by 3 and that will be 20. Therefore, we can say Lydia gets $20 per hour before 5 p.m. and $25 per hour after 5 p.m. Now the question is asking us, on Wednesday Lydia worked from noon to 6 p.m. So how much will she get? Noon to 6 p.m. Now on Wednesday noon, that will be 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. That will be 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. That will be 5 hours at normal rate and 1 hour at special rate. Therefore, we can say she will get 5 into therefore we can say she will get 5x plus 1y. That will be 5 into 20 plus 1 into 25. That will be 100 plus 25. So she will get $125. That is our answer. Let's move on to the next question. The current world record holder in both the 5,000 meter and 10,000 meter is the Ethiopian runner. In his career, he won 3 Olympic gold medals and 5 world championships. His world record times are 12 minutes 37.35 seconds 5,000 meters, 26 minutes 17.53 seconds for 10,000 meter. This person in the 5,000 meter was to run at a constant speed of 6.5 meters per second for most of the race, then sprint the last section at 7.7 meters per second. How far did this person sprint at the end? I'll solve part A only. Part B is same as part A. So this is your homework. Firstly, we can say distance is 5,000 meters. Time is 12 minutes 37.35 seconds. So if we convert the whole time in seconds, we get 12 into 60 plus 37.35. That will be 757.35 seconds. Let the distance traveled at 6.5 meters per second be x meters, and the distance traveled at 7.7 meters per second be y meters. So can we say that distance is speed multiplied by time? Or we can also say from this equation that time is equal to distance divided by speed, right? So can we say that distance x was traveled at 6.5 meters per second So this will be time 1, and distance y was traveled at 7.7 meters per second, and this will be time taken in the sprint. If we add these two times, don't we get total time? And what is total time? The total time is 757.35 seconds. So this is our equation 1. We also know that x plus y is equal to 5000, as x and y is the total distance and the race is of 5000 meters. So these are two equations. This is equation number 2. Now if we solve these two equations, we need to find out the matrix. Matrix A will be 1 by 6.5, 1 by 7.7, and 757.35, and 1, 1, 5000. This will be our matrix. Now let's solve this system of equation using calculator. So I'll go to matrix, I'll edit, 2 cross 3 is correct. So first number is 1 divided by 6.5, 1 divided by 7.7, 757.35, 1, 1, 5000. I'll quit. I'll go to matrix, math, ref. I'll go to matrix again. I'll select matrix A and enter. So we can say that x is equal to 4504.47 meters and y is equal to 495.53 meters. So the question is asking, how far did Kenenisa sprint at the end? So the sprint distance is y. This is sprint distance. And this is our answer. So in the similar way, we can solve part B. So that's all for today, guys. I'll see you in the next session. Have a great day.